Power to the people. You know who it is. Professor DJ Shasia Muhammad, BAMS. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Hashtag Professor Shasia Muhammad. PROFESSOR DJ Shasia Muhammad. This is a 24-part series titled Fire Head Nurse Matthews, LPN Jones, and Physician's Assistant Trina Mondal at Queens Hospital Center, which is under the Health and Hospitals Corporation. Today is Thursday, January 10th, 2019. It is exactly 30 years and 1 day since I joined the academy and became a highly decorated New York State peace officer. 6 years I gave public service at Queens Hospital Center. To summarize, and then we will go into some of the documents that will be forwarded to the legendary pioneer attorney Urim Nachevmosky at his own law firm, the law offices of Urim Nachevmosky, PLLC, 299 Broadway, New York, New York. Let's just go over a few items. Oh, don't forget, that mixtape is dropping. But these are a few exhibits that I have for you that will really make you laugh. First, I'm going to show you a letter from the governor's office. Our governor, the Honorable Andrew Cuomo, sent this letter from his office after I wrote to the governor on the internet complaining that I was in a domestic violence safe house in Westchester County, and Westchester County would not give me housing because my payment for the safe house, which I was in since June, came from Human Resource Administration in New York City. So they wanted to send me back to New York City. I did not want to go. It's not a safe place for me. So therefore I didn't want to go. Governor Cuomo was assisting me. So far, everyone has ignored this letter of Governor Cuomo's office. I want to let you know that now. We're at 2 minutes and 27 seconds. We're going to keep this under 5 minutes, and we're going to do 24 parts. But this is showing a scandal in the psychiatric emergency room at Queens Hospital Center and a scandal in the medical emergency room, and head nurse Matthews is at the head of it. LPN Jones, he's involved. Physician assistant Trina Mondal, she's involved. The only person who's not complicit is administrator on duty DeFore, because she attempted to do the right thing with regard to my visit to Queens Hospital Center on January 7th. Just to end this and send some documents out on Twitter so that you have a better understanding of exactly how my civil rights, my HIPAA rights, and HIPAA is the Health Insurance Portability Act. So I'm going to get back to you and look in the description because you'll see the exact link where you can go read HIPAA. We're coming back with more information. Joy Wilson, she works in the psychiatric ER. She was complicit too because they would not feed me. I wanted halal food. She offered me regular food. I didn't want that. Douglas, who works in the psychiatric emergency room, made lewd conversation throughout the whole time that I was erroneously put into the psychiatric emergency room after going there for back problems. Now, I want to make y'all think for a second. Now, why was Eva Marie King in the psychiatric emergency room? Eva Marie King went to 118th Road and Merrick Boulevard because I received a call from Spicy, a homegirl from the now disbanded 169th Street crew that me and MC Spunky Love started in 1976, that Mabel Finney had passed. Mabel Finney was an employee at Queens Hospital Center for many years, just to throw that in there. I went by her house. I saw that her granddaughter Shannon no longer lived there. I'm like, oh my God. So I said, well, let me just go to the hospital. I'm in pain. I had came down from Westchester County. So I walked to God Brewer. I took some photographs of my old childhood neighborhood for a film I'm doing on the 113 precinct and their influence on me as a young MC and how the inaugural offices allowed us to bring our equipment. Me and my crew, our several crews that were all intermingled and all kind of combined to be the 169th Street crew, and I'll get to them later. So I took some photographs walking down 169th Street. I get to what we used to call New York Boulevard, which you youngins call Guy Brewer Boulevard. There's a police outpost and 2 police vans. I walked up to the officer. I was hurting the line of duty. I'm getting sharp pains in my spine and my sciatic nerves down both of my legs. Please call an ambulance for me. And I'm paraphrasing. Stood there for a few minutes. One of the officers said it was a brother. There was, African-American black brother. You know what I'm saying. It's all good. So he said, well, you could go inside the restaurant and wait. So I went into the restaurant, which is right there on the corner, a little chicken spot, halal chicken spot. I go in, it looks clean. I greet the owner. Young sister's in there and looks at my camera that was on around my neck. This camera right here. He said, oh, you do photography? I said, no, I'm a photojournalist and I'm a filmmaker. She told me she did photography and she worked with children and she shot music videos. I told her who I was. I'm a founder of hip hop. I precede hip hop. So I'm a founder of hip hop in the South Bronx and South Jamaica, Queens, technically. So I started saying rhymes for her. And she started videotaping me on my camera. There's another brother on her camera, her phone camera. There's another brother in there. He started videotaping me. Because she just wanted me to rhyme. I said, look, if you want sponsorship, just put it on video and let's make it legal. Just record me. Ambulance pulls up. Apparently, an officer comes to the door and says the ambulance is here. So I'm in pain. I'm like, y'all got me rhyming and I'm in pain. The sister was happy. The other brother that was in there was like, oh, only in New York. And then they just left with me rhyming on their video. It's cool. I'm used to that. I mean, I love it. I'm a community servant. So I go get into the ambulance. The ambulance proceeds to assist me with getting to Queens Hospital Center. I'm stopping right here. Physician assistant Trina Mondal, by the time she was called into this, she stated to me during our conversation, the EMS person said that you told the police that you wanted to go to psychiatric emergency room. That's why I'm sending you to psychiatric emergency room for observation. Because I feel you're having delusions of grandeur. There's no reason you should be out in the middle of the night shooting films in the middle of the night. I said, man, it was 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. I'm a filmmaker. I said, I represent Dr. Glenn Toby, who has represented Don King and Quincy Jones. She was like, oh, no. You're just suffering from delusions of grandeur, and I believe you're making all this up. And send me to psychiatric emergency room. I said, I have 400 short films on the internet. Well, I'll check that later. I said, my son works at Elmhurst. Call him. It was 406. No, I'm not going to call him now. So apparently it felt like head nurse Matthews and physician assistant Trina Mondal were in cahoots together. You are a physician assistant. You are a head nurse. You're supposed to do your job. You're not supposed to use your position to put sound body and sound mind community leaders, educational scholars, intellectual geniuses in psychiatric emergency room, especially since I'm a highly decorated officer. Sergeant Mondozzi, I asked him for a real patient bill of rights. Man, a patient bill of rights? This is before they decided they were going to put me on a one-on-one and have some PCA named Jacqueline sit there and watch me. It wasn't until I was asleep. I went to sleep and I woke up and the doctor told me, oh, they're sending you for a psych evaluation. I said, for what? The nurse, Bianca, who took my blood initially when I came in, said, I didn't see anything on triage that said anything about psych. I said, it wasn't. That's Nurse Matthews, because I called the administrator on duty and I kept calling 2-3 times. And then I went to hospital police and I made a report and I'm putting that on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And today, one day after my 30th anniversary of becoming a New York State peace officer and being joined by the rest of my class, January 9th, 1989, and the most esteemed Sergeant Doris Gaskins, I'm here making this film. 30 years ago, Attorney Yoram Nachavsky, I got all the documents and you're getting all of them. QHC. You will change the way you do business with B girls and fly girls. I have launched B Girls International, former hospital police. And you will change the way, and you will teach your nurses, and I will send this to every nursing school in the world, and you will teach them to respect B girls and fly girls because we are part of the culture. Your children love hip hop. Guess what? Those guys that you love in hip hop, why were they doing hip hop? The B-boys and these men that you love, these pioneers, to impress the fly girls and B girls. That's why they was doing it. But you want to treat me like I'm a crack whore or I'm a welfare queen. I hold a Bachelor of Arts and a Master of Science from the prestigious College of New Rochelle. How dare you, Nurse Matthews and LP and Jones? For the record, you will never have anything to say about my treatment, ever. And that's what the Real Patient Bill of Rights says. Not this one you gave me from 2010. And I asked at least 5 people in the psychiatric emergency room for it. And we taking Fleur out of there too. Fleur has been going to Queens Hospital Center for 29 years. And what have y'all done except for medicate her? She is an original fly girl. That's all I got to say right now. This is part 1 of part 24. It's about to be on and popping. Head Nurse Matthew, LP and Jones, Physician Assistant Trina Mondal, Joy Wilson, Douglas, Social Worker Ducante, Ducante. And by the way, in closing, my discharge papers, there's not one staff member's name on it. The results from my medical tests, they're not even on there either. But they charged me. As soon as I came in, they charged me. And then on my property sheet, where it says patient signature, it's written unable. Like I was unable to sign. Like, that means I don't have the ability. Unable, ability. Like, that's the key word, ability. That's the root word. Oh, I had the ability to sign. And then they took my head covering off and told me to tie a towel around my head. And then it was time to eat breakfast. I asked the gentleman, what, do you have allowed? No, I don't have allowed. Lunchtime? No, we don't have allowed. Joy Wilson said you should have asked for it. So I sat there hungry all day, and they discharged about 6 patients. Then they discharged me, and I went straight to patient relations and spoke to the assistant director, Weissman, who may keep it in-house. Oh, but this is not going to be in-house. You're going to change the way you do business, Health and Hospitals Corporation. You know who it is? FAYAH, F-A-Y-A-H, Head Nurse Matthews, LP and Jones, Physician Assistant Trina Mondal, Joy Wilson, Douglas, Social Worker Ducante, and the doctor whose name I do not know, and who violated my privacy at least 4 times. She never evaluated me. She came out and spoke about my case in front of the rest of the patients who were sitting there. The way they run in that place now, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and I will fight it. And I'm launching also right now Fly Girls International Mental Health Awareness Group, because we're going to save our women. There was one white person in there, one white dude. He didn't say whatever he wanted to do. Also, when I went to use the phone to speak to my attorney at 9:30, they cut my call off after 2 minutes. I saw the other patients calling and crying to their family. They let them talk, but they cut my call off. It's Thursday, January 10th, 2019. I am the legendary pioneer, Queen, MC DJ, Shasia Muhammad,